Hello and welcome to TV 25 Sports. I'm Evan Woodward along with Jeff Mulder bringing you tonight's game between the Haslett Vikings and the Perry Ramblers. Tonight's contest is one like none other that we have ever seen here at Haslett. If the Vikings win tonight, they will move on to become ICL champions for the first time since 1986. And this would mean a whole lot to the Vikings, the team, the players, the coaches, the parents, everyone here at Haslett. It'll be a time of rejoicing if the Vikings can pull off the victory tonight. Now, the Perry Ramblers come into tonight with a much different story, Jeff. They have a very small team this year of under 20 players, and they stand at 1-6. And nothing but heart is going to carry those Perry Ramblers past the Vikings tonight, Jeff. And the biggest lineup change for the Vikings tonight is Nick Shively is going to return at the quarterback helm and replace Pat Saltzgaber. Shively went out earlier in the season after the fourth game with a knee injury, and Saltzgaber backed up and very, very well, winning 3 games. Jeff, do you think this is going to throw the team off at all?
I don't think so. I think Nick he was the starter at the season, and I think they still feel that he's a starter, and I think the team is very confident with Nick, but I also think they're very confident with Pat, and they showed with the victories that Pat led them to.
So the team, I think, has showed a lot of promise with both quarterbacks at the helm, and no one knows better, though, than Coach Otluski. And we spoke with him before the game, and here's what Coach O had to say.
Many people, including myself, were very surprised when Haslett came out undefeated after 7 games. How have your preseason goals compared with how things are going now?
Well, actually, our preseason goals have matched up very nicely with our current status. Mm-hmm. You know, each year I've been here, our goal is to win the ICL, make the state playoffs, and eventually win the state championship. And Friday nights, we're set to at least accomplish goal number 1. Mm-hmm. So, not a shock. We knew we'd have a good team if we stayed healthy, and for the most part, we've stayed fairly healthy.
This weekend we host Perry, who's 1-6. Now, despite their record, is there anything you might have to change in the playbook to match up evenly with it?
Not really. I mean, we're still going to do what there's an old adage, that you worry about what you do and do it well, and we're going to stick with that. There's some things that Perry does a pretty good job of. In despite of their 1-6 record, they do have some good athletes, but they're struggling right now. But we're going to just do what we've been doing, week in and week out, and that's going to run the ball and try to mix it up like last week we did with throwing the ball a little bit as well.
Yeah. How does it feel to be ranked #1 in the state in Class BB, and does that title put any pressure on you or the team?
How does it feel? Oh, it's a nice honor, but it's very premature. And one of the things that we always want to do as our third goal is to be ranked #1 at the end of the year. That carries obviously much more weight. Those kinds of things are nice. But they really aren't worth anything. I used to always say that they were worth about as much as the paper that they're printed on. Yeah. But it's nice, and you get to read it and that kind of thing. But you really don't put any stock in it.
All right, also, if the playoffs are held here in Haslett, what added pressure would that put on you guys to perform well in front of like a home crowd? And
I don't think it put any added pressure on. In fact, being able to host in the playoffs, it's a neat and it's exciting. It's great for the community and the school. It's very exciting. So at home, if in the playoffs, if you have to have a choice, you'd rather play at home. Yeah. But there's no added pressure. It's just another home game, and and that kind of thing. So no added pressure, but it's very exciting.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, we're excited about playing Perry because we have a chance to win the trophy outright, and so we're very focused and we're very excited for this game Friday night.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
All right, welcome back here to Vikings Stadium as we look at the team here coming off after their entrance onto the field. The Vikings going to have to play strong tonight. They can't overlook the Ramblers. Despite the fact that Perry's only won 1 game, Jeff, you can't just think of them as pushovers.
No, you definitely can't, because anything can happen in a game like this. I mean, Haslett could come in with a big head. I mean, 7-0 against 1-6. I mean, usually you just write it off, but Perry can be dangerous, and some fumbles or some interceptions or some turnovers or something weird happens, Perry could walk out of here with a win.
That's very, very true, Jeff. Big plays can amount for a lot in games like this. And if Haslett turns the ball over a lot or Perry's able to capitalize on any mistakes, it could lead to a much closer game than expected.
Definitely, definitely. Haslett should be the team that comes out with a victory here, as the record and the way that they've been playing, but you never know what's going to happen. So
Anything can happen in football, whether it's high school, college, pro. And anything can and will does happen. And although it's highly unlikely that the Ramblers will get a victory tonight, Haslett cannot afford to make those mental errors. I think, Jeff, that all they're going to do is they're going to come out, they're going to play their game, they're going to run the ball, and they're just going to keep it on the ground all night and wear down that Perry defense, because Perry, with only about 15 players dressed tonight, is not going to have a lot of depth going either way. And what's going to happen is if Perry can stop the Haslett running game in the beginning, the defense is going to start to deteriorate with fatigue. And then once the flood breaks, the water will flow. Once the dam breaks, the water will flow, and it will flood. Let me tell you, Jeff, it will flood. If the Ramblers are not able to contain the Vikings running game, the Vikings will run all night and merciless here against the Ramblers.
definitely. Haslett should just stick to their game plan of running. Got 3 great running backs.
Yes, they can run it with Logan Barnhart, Steve Shepard, or Peter Eric. We've talked about them so much, Jeff, but they're such key, very intricate players to this team. Logan Barnhart comes into tonight's game breaking the 1,000-yard mark. He's got 1,020 yards on the season so far. And Eric's picked up 674, Shepard with 563. So all 3 big contributors over that 5-century mark there, Jeff.
Yes, but the big things about those numbers is that Barnhart's averaging 10.2 yards a carry, Shepard's averaging 6.3, and Eric's averaging 6.7 yards. So it's not a lot of carries that are getting them the yards. It's a great offensive line and them running hard.
Few big carries, that's all you need. And when you average 6 yards a carry, Jeff, you think you can run on pretty much anyone. And the Vikings haven't really had a lapse in their running game, except for a couple weeks ago against the Fowlerville Gladiators. The Gladiators put 10 men up in the box, and it made it very difficult on Haslett to run that ball.
We'll have to see if Perry scouted that game, and maybe they go with 10 or 9 people up in the box like Fowlerville did, and maybe possibly that could work.
Well, it appears as though the Ramblers are going to be kicking off to the Vikings here to start things off tonight. It appears that the kicker for the Ramblers is number 88, Mark Garnell. And back deep to receive for the Vikings, the usual dynamic duo of Logan Barnhart, and it appears Peter Eric back there. And both of these guys can be very, very dangerous. Barnhart's returned to kick for a touchdown this year. And it'll be interesting to see whether Garnell kicks it towards Barnhart or towards Eric, or maybe even just go short with it.
I would suspect that he would go short with it here.
Here it goes, and he is going to go short with it, and it's tipped by number 57 for the Vikings. And
Jason Bamford.
Bamford tipped it. Maybe not the smartest play in the world. He might have wanted to let that one go over his head, but Jacob Kleinert covering up big time for the Vikings, grabbing a hold of that ball. That could have been disastrous right from the start of the things, Jeff.
Smart play by Jake there to just grab the ball and get down with it.
Yeah, Jake, Jake made a very wise decision, not even trying to run the ball, just trying to get possession of it and hold it up. And as a result, the Vikings have got excellent field position starting off on their own 45-yard line. Now, as we said earlier, Shively will be the starting quarterback, and we've got a split left and 2 men in the backfield, and Shively looks back to throw. He's going to go deep. He's got a man open. It's caught by Barnhart down at the 15-yard line, and what a play to start off the game, Jeff. I don't think anyone expected Haslett to go to the air on the first offensive play of the game.
Well, Perry definitely did not expect Haslett to go to the air, but then it worked, though. A little trickery, maybe. Going right to there.
I don't know if it was necessarily trickery, but I think that Perry must have done some scouting and thought that Haslett was not going to be throwing the ball, and they put it up on the very first play of the game.
Barnhart's got some great speed out there, and if he can get by some people, if he wouldn't have had to wait for the ball there, he probably could have been in the end zone.
Yeah, he picked that ball right up and took it down to the 15. Shively, and he drew some people off sides, but then 2 linemen moved, so both teams will be pointing fingers here, and I think this one's going to be against Haslett, Jeff. Yes, it's going to be a false start on the Vikings. Now, here's another look at that play. Shively's going to look. He's going to wait and let Barnhart get free, and as you can see, he got behind the defender, but he had to turn around and go back for the ball. It wasn't a bad ball by Shively. It was just a little behind him. So the Vikings are going to move back to the 20, though, after that penalty, and it's going to be first down, 15 yards to go. Shively hands it to Shepard off that left side. Shepard pounds one man, moves the pile forward, picking up about 5-6 yards on the carry.
There's Shepard showing that strength. Takes about 3-4 guys to bring him down on that one.
Yes, you know that when you run the ball with Steve Shepard, the first man to make contact is not going to be enough to bring him down. So he moves that forward about 5 yards. That'll give the Vikings a 2nd down and 10, remembering the penalty. Looks like we've got a wing left, and that is Ehrig, and then we've got Shepard and Barnhart in the backfield. Scheibele fakes the ball to Shepard, rolls to his right, looking to go to the end zone, and just overthrows Jeff Smith.
That looked like Saltzgaber out there, actually.
Actually, it was, yes, number 83, Pat Saltzgaber. My mistake there, Jeff. Pat Saltzgaber's number 83, Jeff Smith number 82. Both very, very tall and big targets for Scheibele to hit.
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise that Haslett's passed this many times, but maybe they scouted the Ramblers and maybe their secondary is a little bit weak. As Pat was open, it was just a little bit of an overthrow there by Scheibele.
Yes, the Vikings passing twice already on this drive. And here's Scheibele. And he's going to give it off the right side to Ehrig. He's got the corner, but we got a holding call, and it's going to be coming back. It looks like Steve Shepard got his hand up in the face of the defender, and it's going to be coming back. Flag is spotted at about the 16, and let's see what the official sign is here. And we've got a hold against the Vikings. So that's going to take them back 10 yards, Jeff, and that kind of hurts because that's going to bring them out, almost out of field goal range here.
Yeah, that's going to be a long field goal attempt if they can't move the ball that well on this 3rd down.
It's going to be interesting to see if Coach Atluski is going to opt to go for a running play, passing, you know, maybe a little trickery. I'm not sure what you would do in this situation here, Jeff.
We'll have to wait and see if Perry accepts the penalty here.
And actually, they're going to, and that's going to move the ball back another 10 yards. So that's going to be about 3rd down and 20 yards. The line to make is the 5-yard line, and Haslett standing back on about their own 26-yard line. So it's actually 21 yards to go. So we'll see what they have to do here. They've just got that wing tee backfield in there. Scheibele. He's going to drop back. Straight drop, and he falls. It's going to be down. He was hit late. No call from the official. Scheibele upset about it, but he's going to move backwards, and the Vikings without much choice here. They're back at about their own 33, which would make for a tremendously long field goal. It's a long 4th down anyhow.
But it'd be interesting to see if they go for it, if they just punt the ball away, being relatively deep into Perry territory here.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if Atluski decides to take a shot at the end zone here, and they've got a wing left with Ehrig. Shepard, Barnhart in the backfield. Scheibele. It's going to hand it off to Shepard, reverse to Ehrig, and he barely keeps his footing, moving off that right-hand side, trying to cut it back up, and he'll be tackled at the 20-yard line. And Ehrig would have been able to pick up much, much better yardage had he been able to keep his footing off that right side, but the ball's going to go over to Perry. And how big of a surprise is that, Jeff?
That's a little bit of a surprise after that first play. Maybe, you know, has to pick up a little momentum, but after that first play, it looks like Haslett offense was a little bit slow and sluggish, and Perry's defense, with the help of a few penalties, played very well after giving up big yardage on that first play.
Yeah, the Vikings had problems. Right when they got that first down, they were called on that offside penalty that set them back for 5 yards, and then we had the holding call. So the Vikings went backwards on that drive. We've got an I formation, wing right for Perry, and he's going to give it right up the middle. It appears like he gave it to number 40, Isaac Mitchell, and actually, no, was it number 42 there, Jeff?
I think 40. 42 looks like the quarterback, Shansky.
Yes, Drew Shansky is the quarterback tonight, and Isaac Mitchell was the runner there on that play. For some reason, he's listed on my roster as a guard, but obviously he's not.
Well, when you don't have that many people could probably switch around quite often.
Well, Perry's got splits left, splits right, in a pro backfield here. And he's going to hand it up the middle to Mitchell again, and he breaks free. Just for a moment, though, before he's tackled there by number 30, Ben Murray.
Good hard running there by Mitchell as he shrugged off the first man and gained a few extra yards for Perry.
Yeah, he was able to pick up a good 3-4 yards there out the middle, and he shrugged off a few Viking tackles there. It's going to bring up a 3rd down, about 4 yards to go. And Perry staying in the huddle a little while. Let's see what they call here. Shansky comes to the line. They got a pro backfield, double tights, and wing right. The wing right man's going to go in motion to the left side. He's going to hand it off, and looked like Ben Murray was there, but he handed it off to number 34, Mark Hammond, and actually it was Jeremy Telfor there on the stop. And it's going to be 4th and about 2 feet here, Jeff. And what do you do here if you're the Ramblers? You're the underdog, and you're playing an undefeated team at their field. Are you going to go for it here, or are you just going to have to punt?
I think you got to opt to punt because I think it's a little bit too deep in their own territory, and it's a little too early in the game right now.
And Perry set to punt here, and it's a low punt. It's going to bounce at about the 45 and take a Viking bounce, and they better look out not to touch the ball. And the Vikings are actually going to get the ball in Perry territory, about the 47-yard line.
Not a very good punt there by number 32.
And for some reason, Jeff, we don't have very many fans here in the Perry section. And we've got a decent turnout here for the Vikings, but not as much as we had expected for such a big night here. I mean, the Ramblers are supposed to be not that difficult of a team to beat, but with an ICL championship here on the line, you'd expect to see more people. Shively's going to take over 1st and 10 at the Perry 46. And it looks like he gave it to Eric there off the right side. He's got room. Eric moves it for about 8 yards before he's brought down there by number 42. Drew Shansky.
There it is right there, that 6, 7, 8 yards on 1st down. That's really helping Haslett out right now.
Can't ask for a better 1st down play than that, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, bringing up a 2nd and 2 here. I mean,
this gives you a lot of options because the defense might assume that you'll just go for the short running play to pick up the 1st down, but you can always go to the air here and leave that 2 yards to be picked up on 3rd down. And we've got movement there. Number 65, Dave Davich, moved prematurely there. And that's going to bring the Vikings back 5 yards, and they just can't shoot themselves in the foot like this here tonight, Jeff.
Looks like possibly that the offensive line may be just a little bit used to Saltzgaber's voice after those 3 games. And Shively coming in, maybe they need a little work when getting used to Nick's count.
Yeah, the cadences from quarterbacks always differ. But you got to be careful when you're on the offensive line not to move early. Well, we've got the same set here in Shively. And he drops the ball. It's kicked around, and actually it looks like Ben Brook was there. Maybe, I think that was Brook grabbing the fumble. And the Vikings very, very lucky to get the ball back there.
Haslett is playing very, very sloppy football right now.
Extremely sloppy football, Jeff. This is not characteristic of the Vikings. Ben Brook was able to grab the ball, but we've had these penalties, and we've also had that fumble there, Jeff, that's made things kind of difficult on the Vikings. And now they've got a 3rd down and long, about 13 yards to go. Shively gets under center. And he gives it right up the middle. It's Barnhart. He breaks loose off that right side. He's got a 1st down and much, much more as he gets down inside the 25-yard line for the Vikings. And that was a big play there, Jeff.
That's what the Haslett offense is used to seeing right there. Big gaping holes for their runners just to go through and pick up big yards. And smart call to go to Logan there, probably their feature back. And
yes, Logan, one of the top runners on the team, obviously, and he was the receiver on that first play on that long pass, and that's the first time he's ran the ball so far tonight. Very successful. Shively calls the cadence, and it looks like he gave it to Barnhart again, and he's trying to find more room on that right side. He didn't have anything, but he manages to squeeze about 5 yards out of that one, Jeff.
A very good run there by Barnhart to bounce it outside and pick up a few extra yards where he could have just gone down, stayed in the middle, and picked up 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, one of the defenders made initial contact with him in the backfield, and Barnhart thought that there was no hole, so he bounced it outside. And that's a sign of a great back, Jeff, making something out of nothing.
The offense starting to look a little better here now.
Shively. He's going to give it to Shepard off the left side, and Shepard barrels forward for about 6 more Viking yards. That's going to bring him down to about the 10-yard line. Isaac Mitchell was the man who made the stop for the Ramblers. And Come the Vikings. Up the 11-yard line here. They can still get a first down inside the 1. Shively. And it looks like he kept it. He faked it to Eric and very well, and a lot of the Rambler defenders bought it. And Shively moves it down inside the 3-yard line. It's right around the 2 or the 3-yard line. It's going to bring up a second down and short. What'd you think about the call there, Jeff?
I thought it was a good call. I mean, Perry could have thought pass on that play when Shively rolled out like that, and they sold the fakes very well on that one.
Yeah, it was a nice play there by the Vikings. As I thought that he being Shively, handed it right off to Eric on that right side again, but he held on to the ball. Second down, deep inside Rambler territory. Shively, and he gave it to Eric, and he is in for the score, and the Vikings first on the board here. They're going to go up 6-0. 3:48 remaining in the first quarter, and the Vikings have drawn first blood here, Jeff.
Big hole there for Eric to run through, and he didn't really have to do much, but still moving in the end zone there.
Big play for the Vikings, and here's another look. J.J. Danhoff set to kick the extra point. He has been a big asset for the Vikings. Saltzgaber to hold. Danhoff puts it through. J.J. Danhoff, before tonight's game, had made 25 of 28 extra points, and that is just phenomenal for a high school kicker. And the Vikings go up 7-0 here late in the first quarter over the Ramblers. A lot of time being consumed while the Vikings had the ball there, Jeff.
Yeah, after a few mistakes again on the second drive, Haslett's offense picked it up and started looking like the Haslett offense that we've been seeing all season and put in the end zone.
Yeah, that big run by Logan definitely helping things out when they had the 3rd and long situation, and Barnhart busted it for about 25 yards off the right side.
Yes, it seemed to boost their confidence, really help out the team.
There's definitely room to run for the Vikings. We've got 3 men back deep for the Ramblers. Look at Coach Port. Very, very intense coach here at Haslett, the defensive coordinator, as his defense is about ready to take the field. Port spends a lot of time viewing film and figuring out different schemes to combat the opposition. Very, very hard-working coach. And the kick is going to go off to the far sideline. It's picked up there by number 20, Justin Morris. And he finds room on the right-hand side. Danhoff over there to help make the stop. But he reversed his field and moves it out to about his own 42-yard line before Haslett was able to make the stop.
Very good run back there, and also a very good play by J.J. Danhoff to stay back as that safety and then make a nice tackle.
Now, an interesting thing here, Jeff. J.J. Danhoff making the tackle as a kicker. Earlier this week, I was watching an NFL Films production about Matt Barr, who's an old kicker for the Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as the New York Giants. And he was one of those kickers that didn't mind making tackles, and that kind of reminded me of him right there as J.J. Danhoff made that play. Now here, watch as he's going to go off the right side, and I know the Vikings have great pursuit, and the play was cut off there. You couldn't quite see it, but Danhoff moved up and helped make the stop there. And that's really important that a kicker just doesn't stay back and allow things to happen, because if he does, it could have been 6 the other way.
That looks like number 34, Mark Hammond on the carry there.
And he moved it for about 8 yards there on first down. It's going to bring his team up to a second down, 2 yards to go.
So a good play for Perry to come back after that Haslett touchdown, showing that they feel confident still. And
it's going to be very important for the Ramblers to be able to move the ball here on this possession. They've got an I formation, backfield, wing right, double tight end. Shansky sends his man in motion off the left side. He's going to hand it to the tailback, and he is going to plow forward for about 3 yards there.
He'll
Number
pick up
34, Mark Hammond on the carry again.
He'll pick up the first down on that play, and Perry comes out, and they look good right now.
Yeah, the Ramblers look like they might actually be able to run the ball in the Viking defense here. They've had some mild success at it so far, and if they keep going to it, the Vikings are going to have to figure out a way to stop them. Still earlier in this game, 2:40 remaining in the first quarter. Shansky, I formation, wing left. Fakes the handoff, option left. Shansky keeps it. Jeremy Telfor was right there to jump on his back and help pull him down. And Shansky only picked up about a yard there, Jeff.
Pack of Vikings there to make the tackle with Telfor, and Good defensive play there by the Vikings.
You think we can expect to see a lot more option out of these guys tonight, Jeff?
I'm not really familiar with Perry's team, but I know that Shansky is very, very quick, and I could see option coming in, but looks like they're having more success right now running the ball up the middle.
Very talented runner, and we've got a penalty flag here. It came in the Haslett linebacking core, was where it was thrown by the umpire, and this is going to be an interesting call. And the official, is that an unsportsmanlike conduct call there, Jeff?
It sounds, that's
Or
what it
maybe-
looks like to
maybe
me.
Equipment?
I'm really not sure what that signal means right there, but
Well, they're moving the ball.
it's a 15-yard
15
penalty.
yards. That had to be unsportsmanlike conduct. And Mark Trotter's coming off the field. I don't know what's going on here, Jeff. And there was no Perry men in the backfield, and all of a sudden I just saw the penalty flag fly. And you have to wonder if maybe someone was using language or something. But it was unsportsmanlike conduct. And here's first down. Dropping back to throw. Looks, he's got a man, but he drops the ball. The pass was intended for number 83, Steve Hill. And he dropped it over there on the far sideline.
Good throw by Shansky there as he was under heavy pressure by 2 or 3 Vikings, and his receiver just couldn't make the catch on that one.
Definitely showed his speed there, rolling out to his right. Didn't have much problem evading those Vikings. It's going to bring up a second down, 10 yards to go at the Haslett 30-yard line. And that 15-yard penalty really hurt the Vikings.
Yeah, that puts Perry right in position to maybe get one in the end zone of the Vikings if they can move the ball a little bit. It really helps the Ramblers out on that penalty.
Yeah, the Ramblers beginning to threaten out here. I formation, wing left. Shansky fakes the handoff, rolls right. He's got Stocker and Butler, and he evades both of them. Harden now is going to pull him down on the far sideline, and what a play there by Shansky to avoid the loss as he didn't have any men open downfield.
He showed his quickness there to get around Stocker and Butler, who aren't super quick defensive linemen, but they're not slow either.
Yes, it was a great play there by Shansky to evade both of them. And loses about a yard on the play, but could have lost a lot more than that had he been caught in the backfield.
Very athletic play by Shansky there to just get back towards the line of scrimmage there.
And you have to think that Perry has no choice but to put it up in the air again here, Jeff, as we've got third down and long. We've got split left, split right, pro formation backfield for Shansky. He's going to play action pass, and he's under heavy pressure, tries to run it, and he is not going to be able to do that. A host of Vikings are right there to stop him. That's going to bring up fourth down and long. Now, Jeff, do you pooch punt this and try to pin Haslett back, or do you just go ahead and go for it?
I think I'm going to have to say that I would probably go ahead and go for it there on that one. 30-yard line.
It looks like Mark Stocker may have injured his arm on that play. He was running off very, very strangely and perhaps might have been hurt. The officials called a timeout very briefly, but Mark has run off to the sideline now. And Perry has elected to punt here, and back deep to receive for the Vikings is Alex Williams. And it's going to go bounce, and it takes a Perry bounce. They're going to be able to down it deep in Haslett territory, and they do, inside the 10-yard line. Down at about the 7-yard line. The punt was punted by number 32, but the rosters we have up here do not say his name, Jeff.
Yeah, it was a very nice punt by number 32 there.
Wasn't a bad kick.
And it looks like Haslett's defense is definitely up to the task of stopping Perry's pass, and if Perry's going to move the ball at all, they're going to have to stick to the run.
It's going to be interesting to see how good the Vikings offense here is on this possession. They're deep in their own territory. They got a lot of green in front of them, but they're going to call a timeout here, and I'm not quite sure why. But the Vikings back deep in their own end zone, and Otluski's going to go have a word with the official. As you can see from the shot right here, Otluski's conversing with him, and the offense is right here, and he tells him to back off so he can have a private conversation. He must be upset about that unsportsmanlike conduct call or something, or trying to get an explanation down there. He's visibly very upset. And as a coach, you hate to have penalties called against your team because all you do is shoot yourself in the foot over that.
The defense was able to rise to the occasion after the penalty, and
That's very important to have a defense that's able to make stops very, very often. They've played very well this year, Jeff. They shut out Fowlerville just 2 weeks ago in a big homecoming game. That really put Haslett in the driver's seat for the ICL title. And the only obstacle left in their way is the Perry Ramblers here tonight. And it appears the timeout is over, and the Vikings are going to have their first down here at the 7-yard line. Lusky will head back to the sideline. I'm just going to assume, Jeff, that he was discussing something with the referees about that penalty call.
I think that would be a good assumption, Evan.
Shively gets under center. Wing T backfield. And it looks like he gave it to, no, he kept it. Looked like he gave it to Ehrig, and Shively found some room off the right side. Picked up some good yardage there.
A good tackle there by number 20, Justin Morris. If he wouldn't have made the tackle, Shively still could be running at this point.
Yeah, Shively picked up over 10 yards on that play, and that's going to move the chains for the Vikings.
Very good first down play when you're buried deep in your own end of the field.
Yeah, I'll tell you, getting a little real estate there really helps, but those fakes were just phenomenal by Shively, and he had the defense fooled. And we were fooled as well up here in the booth. And that run is not going to go anywhere, as he handed the ball right up the middle to Barnhart, and there wasn't much room in the core of that Rambler defense.
So Perry's defense comes back and makes a good play after the Shively run to stop Barnhart.
Second down, 10 yards to go for the Vikings. Perry looks like maybe making a couple substitutions here. Shively calls a long cadence and hands it to Ehrig off that right side. Eric's got room as he cuts it back up the middle, and it appears that he got the first down out across the 32.
And that'll be the last play of the first quarter. And once again, the Haslett offensive line opened up another big hole for their running backs to run through and pick up good yardage.
Solid yardage there provided by the line. And when you're running behind almost an entire senior line, it's just got to be a dream for the backs.
Yeah, when you got a line that's that experienced and knows what goes on down there, it's a real big asset for the team and for those running backs.
A lot more goes into the offensive line than people really realize. It's not just a bunch of big guys down there having a pillow fight, trying to move people out of the way. A lot of intricate blocking schemes, especially in this wing T offense. Like if you're a guard, you have to pull on nearly every other play and lead for your running back, and it's not easy to be able to do these things. And it's not all just X's and O's. You never know if a defensive man is going to shift or attempt to swim move you or do whatever. It's not exactly what people think down there on that offensive line, and those guys deserve just as much credit as the running backs do, because the running backs would not be able to go anywhere without that big offensive line in front of them.
Yeah, the offensive line is you need to be smart and you need to be very athletic to pull and know who to block if your man moves. And
there have been many, many men who have said that football games are always won in the trenches, and I definitely agree with that, Jeff. If you're able to control the play on the offensive line, then you're going to be able to move that ball.
And Haslett is proof of that this year. I mean, they rarely throw the ball, and yet they're 7-0 and beating teams.
Beating some big teams, including DeWitt, Portland, and Fowlerville, as well as Adrian and Jackson Northwest. Haslett also defeated Stockbridge last week. And here's a first down and 10. Shively handed it to Barnhart, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. A big play there by number 52, Matt Hart. It's going to set him back for about a yard there.
So it looks like Perry's defense is maybe keen on Barnhart a little bit more after that big 25-yard run to pick up a first down late in the first quarter.
Haslett's got to be concerned about the defensive line getting penetration there. They can't allow that to happen like it did in the Fowlerville game. That can really stall out the offense. Shively working with a second down, 11 yards to go. And he's going to give it to Shepard. He's got all kinds of room off the left side. Barrels over a tackler for the first down. And we said it takes more than one man to bring him down, and he ran right over number 42, Drew Shansky.
That was an absolutely gigantic hole for Shepard to run through. There was nobody within 10 yards of him when he got the ball.
Here's another look at that play. Chansky didn't really make the tackle there. He was just kind of in the way, and Shepard bowled him right over. First down, 10 yards to go for the Vikings. Shively, they're going to give it to Shepard again, but he's caught in the backfield. Still manages to pull ahead for 3 yards there, Jeff.
Just let the man come for a ride there on that one. Number 27, John Hohenstein, makes the tackle, and Shepard just kind of carried him until a few other Perry guys could come and help him out.
How important is it, Jeff, to have that one power back and then go to the 2 men that have both speed and power? And I'm not saying that Shepard doesn't have speed, because he's definitely showed it before, but he's definitely the strongest of the 3 runners.
It's very important for this Haslett team.
Shively. And he fakes it to Eric. He's going to throw. He's got Shepard wide open. Shepard catches it. First down and more as he cuts it back to the 40. Inside the 35. First down, Vikings.
Great play there, great fakes, and Shepard was wide open, and he shows that he's got good speed by getting out there.
Boy, he really turned on the Jets when he caught that play. Now watch this great fake here by Shively. How important is that, Jeff?
It's very important to have good fakes if you're going to run the wing tee offense, because the whole offense is based on how good your fakes are going to be.
It's going to bring up a first down inside Perry territory. And Shively looks like he kept it again, and he's going to go deep and just overthrows number 22, Peter Eric. That's 4 times Haslett's gone to the air already tonight, Jeff.
A little bit of surprise there as Haslett feels that they can throw on Perry, obviously, and 4 times in the first half is almost equal to their first 5-game total.
Yeah, the Vikings not opting to go to the air very much at all so far this season. And Shively has shown that he has the ability to throw the ball very well, and the Vikings can catch it. And they've completed 2 of 4 here tonight. Shively. And it looks like well, it looks to me like he gave it to Shepard, but he didn't. He gave it to Eric, and he's gone off the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. I was completely fooled there, Jeff.
Well, Haslett came with a counter on that one, and Eric had another big hole, and Perry kind of fell for the fake to Shepard. And if Eric can get just a little bit of room, he's going to go a long ways. We got a replay on this one.
Looked to me like Shepard had the ball. Another great fake here. See, they went after Shepard, and Eric just had that gaping hole on the right-hand side and rambles all the way into the end zone. No pun intended. J.J. Danhoff to attempt the extra point. Saltz gave her a hole. Danhoff puts it up, and it's good. The Vikings go up 14-0 on the Perry Ramblers with 9:42 remaining here in the second quarter.
Very strong drive there by the Vikings. The offensive line just overpowering Perry's defensive line, and the backs just running through the holes there.
Anytime you start a drive inside your own 10-yard line and are able to get down and score a touchdown, it's a big, big boost for your offense. And it looks like Haslett's not going to have that much trouble moving the ball on Perry as long as they can keep men from penetrating the offensive line and catching the backs in the backfield. Danhoff's going to kick it off here. And you got to think, if you're Perry, you might want to maybe change things around here a little bit on offense. The drive was working for a while, and then it stalled out. You got to get the ball moving if you want to stay in this game. We said it before, Jeff. Perry's going to have a lot of heart to stay in this one.
I'm sure Perry will come back strong, though, on this drive.
The kick is going to go off the left side, and I don't agree with that flag there, Jeff. It looks like the ball was touched, and they're going to call an out-of-bounds penalty here for kicking the ball out, but it looked to me like the Perry man touched it. All right, well, we're going to go down to our field correspondent, Dr. Josh Hoisington. Josh?
About this year's football season, this game in general?
Well, it's pretty awesome. You know, we're really good this year. I just love being a part of it all. Haslett football rocks!
Yeah, all right, now back to you, Evan.
All right, thank you, Josh. We've got very, very well-spoken students here at Haslett High School. And
A lot of support this year from the Haslett students. As
Yes,
the Vikings are 7-0 this year, looking to go 8-0 and win the ICL title.
the support has been just absolutely terrific. Perry's going to set up here with an I formation wing left, and he's going to give it right up the middle. And not much room there as he gave it to number 40, Isaac Mitchell. And he was stopped after a gain of about 2-3 yards.
A lot of Vikings there to make the tackle.
Surprisingly, though, he was able to move the pile forward to pick up that extra yard. And sometimes whichever way the pile goes can really determine whether you're going to end up picking that first down up or not. Second down, about 7 yards to go. Pro formation backfield. Wing left. Shansky is going to hand it to Mitchell again. He's got all kinds of room up the middle, and he's going to move it forward for the first down, nearing Viking territory here.
Big hole there for Mitchell to run through, and made a nice cut there after he got through the hole and picked up the first down for Perry. And Perry starts off another drive running very well up the middle, and we'll see if they stay up the middle or if they go to the air. Maybe they think they can pass. Last drive, that's what killed them, is when they went to the air, so we'll see if they stay on the ground.
The Vikings electing to go for speed down there on the interior line. They've got Shepard and Brad Hildebrand down there. Hildebrand has always been known for his aggressiveness down there on the line. He showed it there. He made his way into the backfield. Wasn't able to make the tackle, but Perry only picking up about a yard there. Now here's a look at Coach Aluski discussing some things over with his backs and linemen, trying to get that offense going. It's been looking pretty good, but they've had some problems with penalties and men getting into the backfield, and I'm sure that's what Aluski is going over with his players right now.
Here comes Perry. Second down, about 8 yards to go, right on the 50-yard line.
Ramblers with an I formation backfield, wing left. Shansky hands it to the tailback, and he's going to move forward. Picks up some good yardage there. It's going to bring up a third down, about 3 yards to go.
It's like number 34, Mark Hammond there on the carry.
Strong run there.
Offensive line of Perry is not doing a bad job at all. They're not. When Perry wants to run out the middle, it looks like they can pick up 4 or 5 yards.
You haven't busted a big play yet, Jeff, but only time can tell. They've been able to run the ball and effectively and against the Vikings so far. And Shansky is going to roll left, pitches it out, and the man cuts it up. It looks like he was stopped just shy of the first down on that far sideline. Let's see where they spot the ball.
It's going to be very close there, Evan.
And they're going to call official timeout for measurement. And it looks, from what I can see here, Jeff, that they didn't get it, but you never know with those officials where they're going to spot the ball.
I'm going to have to agree with you. It doesn't look like they got it. It looks like they're just a little bit short.
All right, we're going to go back down to Josh Hoisington here. Back down here with Josh Hoisington.
Josh and Paul, and so do you guys think we're going to make it to the finals this year in the Dome?
Heck yeah, we're going to make it to the finals this year because our football team is awesome.
All right, so Paul, you got anything to add to that?
Yes, I think we're going to definitely make it because Coach Idluski doesn't put up with any crap.
That's good. So you heard from the students.
All right, back up here in the booth, we've got a critical fourth down play here. Just a little less than a foot here for Shansky and the Ramblers. And Shansky's going to give it up the middle. And number 40, Brian Mitchell, is going to move the pile forward, or Isaac Mitchell, excuse me, and move the pile forward for the first down.
So our students seem very confident with our football team this year, Evan.
Students seem extremely confident. As we know, though, winning the Ingham County League and winning the state championship can be two very different things. I'm not doubting at all the quality of our football team, Jeff. But it gets very, very, very difficult once you step out of your regular season play and into those playoffs, because every team that's there deserves to be there. And it gets the opponents getting much rougher. Shansky's going to throw. He's got a blitz on Cahill, and he's going to throw it. And it's not going to be intentional grounding because he had a receiver over there, number 83, Steve Hill, and he almost was able to make the reception.
Nice play by Shansky to get rid of the ball, but then give his receiver a little bit of a chance to make a catch on that one. As you can see, Cahill comes in very, very quick, and Shansky just kind of tosses it out there. but gets rid of it. And
Now, Jeff, do you think he got it near the receiver by blind luck, or do you think he actually spotted the man?
I'm going to have to say blind luck on that one because it didn't look like he was really looking towards the receiver, and it just kind of looked like he just threw it up.
Looked like he kind of Bernie Kosar'd it there. Very famous quarterback known for his sidearm throws, and we've got two wide receivers, and Shansky's going to do a quarterback draw, but he did not fool Jimmy Mulholland as he's going to pull him down from behind to bring up third down.
Mulholland came from his defensive end position there to make the tackle. A very nice play by Jimmy Mulholland on that one.
Wasn't a bad play call by the Ramblers. They had a wide receiver right and left and a couple of backs, and Shansky dropped back, looked like he was going to throw, and then just went ahead on the quarterback draw, but it didn't work out. It's going to bring up third down and long inside the Viking 40-yard line. Split right, split left, pro formation backfield for Shansky. Shansky's going to drop back, looking to throw. No one over there as there was contact between number 27, John Hohenstein, and number 5, Nathan Cahill, but there was no flag on the play. It looked like it was coincidental contact, but that's going to bring up a fourth and long for the Ramblers.
Looked like Shansky was just a little bit rushed on that one, and maybe Haslett's penetration there and couldn't make a good throw on that one.
He had to move out of the pocket quicker than he wanted to, but he had time once he got out. I'm wondering why he didn't wait for longer to throw, but here comes the Perry punt, and there's a little bit of pressure, but he's going to get it off, and it heads towards the corner, and it takes another Haslett bounce, and Perry's going to pick it up at about the 16-yard line. That's where the Vikings will take over here. 5:43 remaining here in the second quarter. In case you're just joining us here on TV 25, I'm Evan Woodward along with Jeff Mulder, bringing you coverage of tonight's game. The Vikings are leading 14-0 and have just taken the ball back at their own 16-yard line.
So we'll see if Haslett can move the ball, maybe pick up another touchdown or a field goal.
How big of a possession do you think this is, Jeff?
It's a very big possession to take the... Haslett wants to take momentum into halftime, and Perry, with a big stop, could take the momentum into halftime and possibly get the ball out and maybe score.
Vikings have got a split left, and Shively's going to put the ball in the air. Well, he's going to roll to his left. We've got a holding call behind the play as he threw it there, intended for number
81,
81, excuse me. It's Chad Myers. We've got a holding call on the play, I believe, is what's going to be the call there. Usually when an umpire throws a flag in the interior line, it's not good news for the offense, and that's what the call is here.
That's really going to hurt Haslett because that's going to put them inside their own 10-yard line. And it's definitely not what an offense wants, a 1st and 20 inside their own 10. We got a replay here.
It's very damaging here. Now, anytime you've got a quarterback running around, you're going to get holding calls, and there it is right there. Actually thrown by the referee himself, but was a good call because holding was occurring there on that play. It is getting a little chilly up here, in case you've been hearing Jeff cough so far tonight. It's the October weather is starting to set in here, and
very nice night for football, though.
yes, actually it's pretty clear and a little bit of wind, but otherwise perfect. Shively. Long cadence before he hands it to Shepard off the left side. He's got plenty of room. Shepard finding daylight off towards the sideline. Finally brought down by Shansky.
He's going to be very close to a first down there, and Shepard shows his speed right there. He got outside, and
Shepard picked up a good 17 yards there on that play, Jeff. Great blocking, but a great run there by Shepard.
Shows his speed on that one.
Here's another look at this play. Where do you think that hole comes from there, Jeff?
The guard on the right side there pulling over and trapping and kicking out that defensive end.
Had a great block there. And Shively, and they're going to give it to Shepard again. No, it went to Eric, actually. Boy, Shively's fakes are really top-notch tonight, Jeff. That's about the 3rd time I've been faked out by him.
Yes, not quite on top of your game tonight there.
I can see very well, but Shively has just been doing a great job. And actually, a lot of people forget the other half of the fake is the back carrying it out, and it looked to me like Shepard was running free there on the left-hand side for a moment. But anyhow, Eric picks up the Viking first down at about the 34-yard line. Shively's going to go back and pass again. Not a lot of pressure. He's got Barnhart wide open, and he drops it inside the 40. And the throw was a little behind him again, but definitely catchable, and Barnhart's got to pull that one in there, Jeff.
If you get the ball onto his fingertips or his hands, receiver's got to make the catch, and Logan knows he should have had that one.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and long for the Vikings. I think this is a very important possession, Jeff, because if the Vikings are able to go down and score here, it's going to mean they have a 3-touchdown lead, which is really going to put the Ramblers at a loss. But if they don't score here, they leave the Ramblers, you know, right back within striking distance. They can get right back in this game with one play. And here's Scheibele. He's going to hand it to Eric off the right side. He's got some room, cuts it back up the middle, and he's going to pick up about 12 yards on that play. Great run there by Eric.
So it looks like the offensive line of Haslett and the running backs have now come to play after a little bit of sloppy football in the first part of that first quarter, and they're starting to pick up 8 to 12 yards each time they carry the ball.
A little bit of a slow start for the Vikings, but now they've definitely started to pick things up. Wing T backfield. Scheibele is going to give it to Shepard off the left-hand side, and he's going to barrel forward for about 5 yards on the carry. We're going to go back down to our field correspondent, Josh Hoisington. Josh.
What are your thoughts on our football team?
I think they're great, especially compared to Everett's team. We're 0-8 probably right now, so it's real fun.
That's good. That's good. We are good this year. Now back to Evan.
Back up here in the booth. And actually, a correction there on that Everett record. I know they've at least won 1 game so far this year. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to dog them. I know that I think they defeated Holt a few weeks ago. We have a couple transfer students, and there's a nice pass there to Ryan Walker on the far sideline, and he's going to pick up the first down and a lot more. As Scheibele rolled back, he had plenty of time, and Perry didn't have that bad of coverage, and they managed to pick up everyone, but Walker had a few steps on his man, and that's all you need to complete a pass.
Well, usually you used to seeing Ryan Walker over on the other side of the ball playing defense and making interceptions, but it's nice to see him get on the offensive side and make a catch.
There's no question if Ryan Walker has got the hands. He's picked off 4 passes from his cornerback position on defense and showing that he can catch the ball there. And we've got the wing T backfield here for the Vikings. And Scheibele gave it to Shepard, and they fooled everyone except for number 6 there, Mike Vanetta. And just here's another look at this play. The pass to Walker. As you can see, he had some steps on his man and able to get open and get that pass.
On that last play, if he doesn't make the tackle, Shepard's gone for a touchdown because there's nobody else over on that side.
Everyone else was fooled on the fake, and Scheibele with the long count, I think drew the Ramblers offside because I didn't see any of the Viking players move, and the whistles were blown here.
Looks like the offensive line's starting to use to Scheibele again, and Perry's defensive line's having a little bit of trouble, as we've seen them move.
It is going to be an offside.
A few times tonight.
It is going to be an offside call on the Ramblers. The Ramblers definitely very jumpy on the defensive line, and the Vikings had that early call for false start, but since then they've been doing pretty good. Only about a yard to go here for the Vikings. About 2 minutes, 50 seconds remaining here in the half. Scheibele. And he's going to give it to Shepard off the left side. Held up there by a few Ramblers, but he's still going to manage to pick up about 2 yards. It's going to be plenty for the first down for the Vikings. And the Viking offense starting to become kind of a machine, Jeff. They just keep moving the ball in small doses against the Ramblers, slowly pushing their way towards the end zone.
Well, like we said before, you got an offensive line that's experienced like Haslett has. You're going to move the ball on a lot of people.
Scheibele playing very well tonight, throwing the ball very effectively. Gets under center, and he kept it again off the left side. Not going to have too much room over there, as not all the Ramblers were faked out on that play.
Scheibele showing good hard running, though. And
that's always good to see in a quarterback, especially in the wing T offense. You've got to be a strong runner, not be afraid to be hit, and Scheibele's definitely shown that he's the kind of quarterback that can run this offense and run it very, very effectively. He's able to drop back and throw the ball as well as keep it and run. Second down, 9 yards to go for the Vikings. Scheibele, I couldn't tell who he gave it to. It looks like it ended up going with Eric off the right-hand side, and he pushes forward for quite a chunky yardage. And a big reminder for Viking fans and alumni, next week's game against Gaylord is going to be at 7 o'clock, not 7:30. It's going to be an early start. Gaylord's got a long ride home. And so just a reminder to all Viking fans, the game next week is going to start at 7 o'clock. But the Vikings have pushed forward here, and they've got a first down and 10 inside the Perry 10-yard line. Shively rolls right, looking to throw. End zone, he's got two men wide open, and he overthrows him. Overthrew number 81, Chad Myers, and you can't ask for a better opportunity than that. He had two men wide open. And Jeff, I think if I'm Shively there, I just kind of lobbed the ball up and just let my receiver catch it.
Looked like he could have just lofted it up, but he tried to make a good pass and
maybe just overshot him there. I mean, probably very surprised to see the two men wide open, and there were no red shirts there to try to stop them. Anyhow, it's going to bring up second down. Shively. And he's going to hand it to Eric, and he cuts back up the middle. And he gets in for the score. And the Vikings are going to go up 20-0 here on the Ramblers late in the first half.
What a cutback there by Eric. He saw just a little bit of a hole and made the most of it.
Eric playing very, very well here tonight. Showing that he's got great vision for a back, Jeff. He's made quite a few cutbacks that have picked him up many, many extra yards here tonight. And J.J. Danhoff is going to attempt the extra point here for the Vikings. Once again, Saltzgaber to hold. Can't ask for a more sure-handed man. Plays quarterback and tight end. There's the kick, and it's good. And the Vikings going up 21-0 on the Ramblers here late in the first half. Got a minute 12 remaining here. Perry's going to get the ball back with all three of their timeouts remaining, Jeff, and it is possible that they could put a drive together here. Their offense has been on again, off again, but they could get something moving here.
You got to figure to get something going, they're going to have to go to the air, and if they're going to go to the air, Perry's offensive line is going to have to give Shansky just a little bit more time to throw the balls. Every time he's dropped back to throw it tonight, there's been a host of Vikings around him.
Not only is Shansky going to have time to drop back and throw, he's going to have people to throw to. Throwing against cover corners like Nathan Cahill and Ryan Walker is not an easy thing to do.
Very good corners for Haslett this year. And Cahill last year was a first-team All-League selection, and both could be on their way to that again this year. Both playing very solid for the Vikings.
I'm sure that Walker, with already 4 picks on the year, definitely up on the top of the list, as well as Cahill again. Danhoff set to kick here. Shansky is back deep to receive for the Ramblers. He's going to kick it short off the left-hand side, and it's going to bounce and nearly fumbled it. Maybe it was. I can't see where the ball is now. Actually, it was finally recovered by the Ramblers, but Jeremy Telfor was down there to make first contact. But Perry is not going to have good field position. They're going to take the ball over at about their own 14-yard line.
Great hit there by Telfor as he ran right through his lanes, and the ball just kind of ended up in his lane, and he made the play.
The crowd seems unusually lively, unusually not too lively, that is. Not too many students showed up here tonight, but they don't seem as excited as they usually are here, Jeff.
Possibly because Perry's not as good of a team as before.
And the run is going to go off the left-hand side. Shansky doing a nice job of running out the fake. Actually had the corner biting there and following him.
Like number 34, Mark Hammond.
A good run there, picking up about 5-6 yards. Perry allowing this clock to run. You got to think maybe they're just going to elect to take it into the locker room at 21-0.
It looks like that's what Perry's going to do.
You really can't afford a turnover here at this stage in the game if you're Perry. They're going to keep it on the ground, but he's got room off the right side. Finally brought down by Cahill and Williams. The run was by number 34, Mark Hammond, and he found some room in a first down, which is going to stop the clock momentarily at 29 seconds. The Ramblers.
Clock ticking away, though. 20 seconds left in this first half.
with the I formation. Shansky's going to throw. He's under pressure from number 30, and we've got a late hit call, and that is going to go against number 95, Jeremy Telfor, who jumped on late, and that is not good. Roughing the passer. That's going to be an automatic first down for the Ramblers, and that's not exactly. Haslett does not need that here in this situation.
Not a
Jeff.
smart play in that situation. Is very, very good call by the ref. He was definitely late on the hit there, and
yeah, the Vikings were just about ready to take this thing into the locker room at 21-0, and
Jeremy needs to be a little bit smarter than that.
Jeremy's been playing very, very good football so far this year, but maybe he didn't see exactly what was going on at the time. And Jeremy, a great defensive player, stepped it up big time for the Vikings this year. Telfor's had 4 sacks on the year and picked up a fumble recovery.
He's a very aggressive player, and he just showed his aggressiveness on that one, and it just cost him just a little bit there, just a little bit late.
Yeah, the penalty's not going to hurt Haslett terribly, but it's definitely going to complicate things as they'd be in the locker room right now had it not happened. We've got 10.6 seconds remaining in the first half as Perry electing to take that time out, and we're going to go back down to our field correspondent, Josh Hoisington. Josh?
I'm here with David and Tim. So do you guys think that this football team this year is going to be a positive change for Haslett sports in general?
Oh yeah, the football team's going to help all the school spirit and get some more interest, help out the school basketball team, get more people at the games. It's going to help us out all around.
All right. David, do you have anything to add to that?
No, Tim pretty much summed it up.
All right. Yes, I agree. I know that I'm more spirited seeing our football team with a record like this. So back to you, Evan.
And as we know, it was not all champagne and caviar for this Viking football team. When the senior class first stepped in here, on the freshman level, they ended the season at a 1-8 record. Jeff and I were both members of that team, and it was one of the longest, most grueling seasons I think I've ever been a part of. And there were a lot of hardships for this team, and this club has come a very long way from 1-8 freshman year. Now it's 7-0, and I'm not saying the seniors did it by themselves. The juniors have definitely helped out a lot. Shansky's going to throw behind his man, and 6.2 seconds remaining here in the first half.
A little surprised there at that call. It is Shansky throwing it out on the left side of the field there, and if
that's a difficult throw to make when you're rolling to your right and you're right-handed quarterback and you're going to throw back across your body to the left-hand side.
And you throw it, and you're throwing it way away from the rest of the team like that. If someone makes an interception, then they got a lot of field to work with.
Yeah, definitely a dangerous play. Perry's going to have trips out to the right, and they got one man in the backfield. And Shansky hands it up the middle. We got a penalty flag. And as we know, a quarter cannot end on a defensive penalty. Let's see what happens here. The clock reads 0, but it's going to depend which way this penalty is going to go.
If the play's on.
It's going to be false start on Perry, but the Vikings are going to decline that, I assume, and go into the locker room here. A good, solid first half from the Vikings. They're going to go in leading 21-0. Kind of a sloppy start, but the Vikings definitely picking it up later there, Jeff.
Yeah, they started a little bit slow, but Haslett picked it up and started playing like they normally do. And looks like Perry's up against a tough comeback here.
Yeah, Perry's going to have a long way to go if they want to get back in this game tonight. And I think Haslett throwing the ball as effectively as they have been has really started to open things up for the running game. Perry's not going to be able to cheat and put a lot of men up in the box. And the Vikings being able to have that throwing option has really added a lot to the offensive repertoire. And Shively can definitely throw the ball, Jeff. I mean, how would you critique him in that first half in throwing performance?
Maybe just a few times, 2 or 3 times, he just overthrew his receiver. But other than that, he's been throwing some really, really nice balls. His receivers dropped a few. But other than that, Haslett's offense is just starting to click now.
Haslett's been doing very, very well here tonight. After that slow start, they got to just stay away from the penalties in the second half, and everything will be fine. But here at halftime, for your enjoyment, we've got the Haslett band fresh back after their Division I rating at the festival. And the band is headed by James McCaffrey, the director, and the drum major this year is Robin Vatz. And we're going to hand it over to the band here. Enjoy the halftime show on TV 25 Sports. We'll be back with the second half after the band is done.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing 1998 Haslett High School Viking Marching Band, under the direction of Mr. James E. McCaffrey and Mr. Gregory J. Lindsay. Drum Major Robin Wirtz is the band ready to present their first division award-winning show this evening. The band begins their 1998 presentation, A Salute to Broadway Musicals, with the jazz prologue from the popular Broadway musical, City of Angels. Now, the sequel to Broadway musicals would be complete without including a tune from one of the many popular melodies made famous by the incomparable Barbra Streisand. The band continues their presentation with one of Streisand's first hit musicals, Funny Girl. We feature our color guard to the driving tune, Don't Rain on My Parade. The band concludes the festival presentation with a beautiful and compelling ballad from the Tony Award-winning musical A Chorus Line. Here's the lush Marvin Hamlish ballad, What I Did for Love. The Haslett Viking Band was directed by Mr. James E. McCaffrey and Mr. Greg Winston. Underground instructor is Miss Tricia Mason. And guest instructors are Mr. Daniel Paulson, Mr. Ladies and gentlemen, there they are, the 1998 Haslett High School Viking Marching Band.
All right, welcome back here to Viking Stadium for second half action between the Haslett Vikings and the Perry Ramblers. The Vikings came out kind of looking a little lackadaisical, but then got things moving, picking up 3 touchdowns and went into the halftime locker room leading 21-0. And as we return here, the Ramblers have got to start to pick things up here in the second half. They're going to receive the ball, but if they want any hope of getting back into this game, that offense is really going to have to find a spark behind Shansky. The Vikings have looked solid defensively, allowing some running room and then closing up those holes and not allowing Perry any more room. Now, Jeff, as you look at the keys for the second half for the Vikings, what sticks out in your mind?
Just to keep staying with our running game and mixing in the pass there to throw Perry off, but defense has got to keep playing well and keep dominating the line when Perry drops back to pass, because that Perry not being able to pass is really hurting them.
Yeah, the Ramblers have attempted many passes against the Vikings, but the coverage and the pressure has just equaled a difficult time for Perry. They've not really been able to get the ball moving in the air. They've had some effectiveness on the ground. They've been running the ball with both Mitchell and Mark Hammond, but other than that, the Ramblers not really able to get much spark going on offense. The Vikings, on the other hand, have really started to open things up with Nick Shively throwing the ball quite a few times in the first half and completing some passes, which is really going to add to that offense, because the Vikings are going to be able to have a lot more room and a lot more variety of play calling here, and the Ramblers are going to have to play honest. And they're actually practicing some onside kicks right now as we speak. Here's a look at your Vikings. Haslett coming into tonight's game undefeated, 7-0. The Ramblers coming in at 1-6, trying to pull the upset on the would-be league champion Vikings. The Vikings just need to stay away from mental errors and other problems, and they should have this game well in hand, barring a Rambler onslaught. Now, Jeff, keys for the Ramblers if they want to try to get back into this game.
They've got to get pass protection. That really, really hurt him in the first half, and Shansky just had absolutely no time every time he tried to drop back. And they also got to plug up some of those holes on defense, and Hazlett's offensive line's been opening up those holes pretty easily, and Perry's going to have to put up a little bit more resistance than they have.
Hazlett's line's been playing well on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively, opening up some great holes and finally stopping that Perry running game a couple of times there in the first half. Perry will receive here in the second half to start things off. Shansky's back deep, along with number 20, Justin Morris. And number 32, who will remain unnamed, thanks to our roster. Danhoff, set to kick. Low kick off to the right side, taken by 32. He's going to cut back up to the right-hand side before he's cut down by Brandon Harden after crossing his own 30-yard line. That's where the Ramblers will go to work.
The picture of Lucas Caldwell McMillan running off the field there.
Very, very hardworking individual for the Vikings. Plays a lot on special teams. Got a big heart, and the coaches love him. First down, 10 yards to go for Perry. Their own 32-yard line. Shansky with an I formation backfield, win right, double tight ends. Shansky, he's going to hand it to the deep back. Mark Hammond plows forward for about 3 or 4 yards, and there goes that Perry running game, just pounding for a few yards at a time. And if they're able to continue to do that, then they might be able to move the ball more effectively on the Vikings. The problem is the Vikings have been closing up those holes in the 2nd and 3rd down situations and have not allowed Perry to pick up those critical first downs.
Haslett's defense been playing very well all around. Perry's going to have to try to find a spark here.
The Ramblers now with that pro formation backfield, a wing left, double tight end. And he's going to hand it off the left side, and no room there for Hammond as he was pulled down quickly by number 30, Ryan Walker. And what a night he's had so far, Jeff.
Catching passes and, excuse me, as we see Shepard come out of the game there.
Actually, I'm not so sure that was Walker there that made
Looked
that
like
play.
Walker came onto the field there.
Here's a look at Nick Shively over there on the sideline. Actually, it was number 30, Ben Murray, on the play. My mistake.
But he is also having a very good game defensively for the Vikings.
Yes, Ben Murray's been playing very well. Got a wing right eye formation here for the Ramblers. Shansky looking to go to the air. Throws it over the middle. Nearly intercepted by number 21, Mark Trotter. As the pass was thrown badly by Shansky.
Looks like Shansky is just a little bit nervous when he drops back to pass there.
Looks like he might be afraid that Haslett might be coming with some backside pressure possibly, and he's been throwing the ball a little early and not really on target. The Ramblers now, a punt, Williams to receive, standing at about his own 40-yard line. It's a low driving punt that'll send him back to the 30. Williams fields it well, cuts up to the right-hand side. Good block there. And by number 40, Ryan Walker. And Williams still on his feet, moving it inside the 45-yard line. A great return there by Alex Williams.
Looks like possibly he could have gone down, but I guess he used his hands and kept his balance and picked up about 10 more yards after a little bit of a slip.
He moved that return about 26 yards for the Vikings. That'll give them great field position on the Perry 44-yard line. Vikings trying to get things going offensively here. This is their first possession of the second half. Shively settles in under center. And it looks like he's going to give it up the middle. It's Barnhart shifting hands and got a hold of his jersey there. That's the only way he's going to be able to get him down. Mitchell was the man to bring him down.
Good tackle there by Mitchell to hang on to Logan.
Logan only picked up about a yard there in the play, if that. He didn't have much room at the middle. The hole just wasn't there that time, Jeff. Looks like the footing is getting a little slippery out there, as we've seen a lot of the players slip so far tonight, especially the ball carriers. Shively trying to draw that defense off sides again. He's not going to be able to do it, but he does hand it to Eric, who cuts it up the middle again. Moves it about 10 yards. That'll be very close to a Viking first down, but it looks like he's just shy. That's going to bring up third down. About a yard, maybe a little less, for the Vikings at the Perry 34-yard line.
Another great cutback by Eric on that run.
He has had great vision all night tonight, Jeff. He's been able to see where his room is, and he's picked up a lot of extra yards for the Vikings. He's now at wing left, and he's going to go in motion now to the right. And Shively's going to hand it right up the middle. Barnhart hit in the backfield, reaches forward, may have gotten it. It's going to depend on the spot. And from the looks of it, it looks like he may have it for the Vikings. But officials are going to call a timeout to measure. But it looks like where it was spotted, looks like he may have gotten it here.
Looks to me like it's a first down.
Now, it was a good play there by Barnhart to reach forward and try to pick up the first down there with that little extra bit of momentum, but he was hit and very low by a Rambler defensive lineman early in the play, and that was really the difference. He was slowed up, and that's going to be a first down for the Vikings. So that last little extra effort by Barnhart meant the difference there, and the Vikings will have a fresh set of downs inside Perry territory.
Clock ticking down now under 9 minutes.
In case you're just joining us here on TV 25, the Vikings leading 21-0 over the Perry Ramblers here, early third quarter. Shively. He's going to hand it. Looks like Actually, he fakes it to Eric, and the ball was tipped by number 32, and the pass was intended to number 82, Jeff Smith, but he couldn't quite get there.
Good play there to get his hands up and make the tip. Jeff Smith was very open on that play and probably would have picked up a few extra yards after the catch.
The Vikings now 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Still that wing tee backfield, same 3 backs. Eric, Barnhart, Shepard. And he's going to give it to Shepard. He's grabbed in the backfield, and not going to be much room there as Perry has got some great penetration and has been stopping that Viking running game.
Shepard broke about 2 tackles there behind the line of scrimmage just to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's good hard running by Shepard to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, definitely not a lack of effort by the backs. The Perry defensive line has just been back in the face of the Vikings the entire night. And Haslett may be forced to go to the air here on 3rd down and 11 yards. Shively. Oh, he's going to give it to Eric on that right sweep. Eric's got room, and shy of the 1st down. Actually, depends on where they're going to mark it. It looks to me, oh, they're going to measure again here. It looked to me like he didn't get it, but the official on the far side of the field gave him a great spot.
Very good spot for Haslett on that one. Looks like he might possibly have picked it up now.
Yes, this could be a big play for Haslett if they're trying to pick up another touchdown to go up 28-0 over the Ramblers. Here's a look at it, and as you can see, picks it up by well over the length of the football there. Big 1st down for the Vikings. Leading this game 21-0, trying to add to this lead and put this game away. The Vikings going to work here with a fresh set of downs. Shively conversing with his backs as they come up. Looked like Eric was going to split left and then moves back into the backfield. Shively fakes, he's going to throw. And it's well behind number 82, Jeff Smith. And I'm not sure exactly where Shively was going to go with that ball. He kind of went in between. He just kind of landed in the deep guy, and I'm not really sure what he was thinking on that play.
Just kind of landed it in between all 3 of his receivers there.
Not sure if there was miscommunication on the route or what, but the ball was really not near any Haslett player. Shively's been throwing great all night, and maybe he just didn't see anyone open. He's going to fake it to Shepard, give it to Eric. Eric cuts it back up the middle. He's got room, trying to get around the umpire as he moves it for about 9 yards inside the 15-yard line. And that was really interesting because Eric was trying to dodge defenders and the umpire at the same time.
Looks like Peter might have picked up the 1st down if the umpire would have not been in the way there. We got a replay coming up.
And Eric might have been using the umpire as kind of a blocker here. As watch as he tries to get out of the way. Good run there by Peter anyhow. 3rd down, about 2 yards to go. They're going to give it to Shepard. There's no better man to give it to on 3rd down and 2, but he was hit right as he approached the line of scrimmage, and it doesn't look like he got it.
If he doesn't get it, it'll be interesting to see if Haslett goes for it and tries to put it in the end zone, or if they're going to let JJ give it a shot, another field goal here.
They're going to measure again here. This is 3 times on the drive already that they've measured. But if I'm Coach Charlie Atluski and I get a 4th down and short, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind to go for it. But it doesn't look like there's going to be a need as Haslett gets another 1st down. As Shepard plowed ahead and must have been moving the pile forward to pick up that last extra couple of feet.
Shepard once again gets hit but picks up a yard after he gets hit. He's showing strength on that one.
Vikings playing well, moving the ball, not quickly but very effectively as they've eaten up a lot of clock time. 6:48 remaining, 3rd quarter. Vikings still with the wing T formation. Shively gets under center. And he draws a man off sides. And I think that's going to be against the Ramblers. That'll move it 5 yards for the Vikings. And indication from the official is offsides against the Ramblers.
Another strong count there by Shibley.
Yes, he's been calling great cadences all night. He's been fooling the defense. They need to not pay attention to the cadence and pay attention to whether the players are moving or not. First down, 5 yards. The Vikings inside the Perry 10-yard line. And he's going to give it up the middle to Barnhart. Touchdown, Vikings. They're going to go up 27-0.
Good vision there by Barnhart as he made a few cutbacks once he got through the hole and dove over the last man to get in the end zone.
Good run there by Barnhart. Some good fakes there by Shibley. And J.J. Denhoff to attempt another extra point. He's 3 of 3 so far tonight. See if he can make it 4 of 4. Saltzgaber will put it down, and it's good. The Vikings 28 and the Ramblers nothing. 6:17 remaining, third quarter.
So Haslett comes out and on their first possession moves the ball very, very good. Puts it right down the Ramblers' hearts there, and
they didn't move the ball fast, they just moved it consistently, Jeff, and that's what matters in a game like this.
No, very demanding 28-0 lead. It's going to be a long, long road if Perry wants to get back into this football game.
And just a reminder, in the second half in high school football, if a team goes up by 35 points, you get what's called a continuous clock. And the clock does not stop except for timeouts and change of possession. So if the Vikings are able to tack on another touchdown and go up by 35 points, the rest of this game will be going very quickly. Danhoff to kick. Same trio is back for the Ramblers. He's been kicking away from Shansky most of the night. And he's going to do the same thing again. Take him by 32 on the far sideline, and he slowly moves his way out across the 30-yard line. Jeremy Telfor was there to make the stop. It's going to be a first down for the Ramblers.
This is a good opportunity. Next week we got the football game on Friday night, which is going to be starting early at 7 o'clock. But also on Saturday morning, the cross-country team is going to have the regional. There'll be 18 other teams here, and that's going to start with 11 o'clock at the girls' run, then 11:30 the boys will run, right here at the Haslett football field.
Yeah, it'll be a great competition there, as Jeff is actually vying for a spot in the state polls, as he's an excellent runner, but Shansky is going to hand the ball off deep, and not much room there for Hammond. Yeah, it's back to the cross country. The team has been doing very, very well this year. I believe the boys are tied for second in the league, Jeff?
Yeah, and the girls are tied for first, and both teams travel to Perry tomorrow to finish up the ICL season, and last ICL, both teams fighting for a championship.
Try to resolve who's the best in the ICL. Well, best of luck to you and the cross-country runners, Jeff.
Thank you, Evan.
We've got a pro backfield, wing right, double tight end for Shansky. He's going to hand it to the deep man, and he's got all kinds of room. Actually, that time, number 40, Isaac Mitchell, had some good room, was not able to break that tackle as it was nicely done there. Hit him good and low, was able to bring him down. But it's going to bring up a third down, about 3 yards to go. 5:17 remaining, third quarter.
Haslett's defense playing very, very well this second half, and stopping Perry on the first possession and now trying to stop him on the second.
The Ramblers are going to hand it right off the middle again to Isaac Mitchell, and he's going to barrel forward for a first down. The Ramblers refuse to just roll over and die in this game, Jeff. They are continuing to fight the Vikings as hard as they can. But with this minuscule numbers of players, it's hard for Perry to be able to continue to get things going. But I will say this, for the players that Perry does have, they have just been very, very good, and the size is not quite as good as the Vikings, but they've just been doing very well. And as you see the shot of the sideline over there, you can see there's not many options of substitutes over there. But Perry's doing what they can and playing very hard here tonight. as the play is going to go to the right on a sweep, and he's knocked out of bounds.
Mark Hammond there.
About the 45-yard line. Ben Murray was there to help make the stop for the Vikings.
So Haslett's defense putting Perry in a 2nd and 9 and a long 2nd down situation here.
Defense has been playing very well, and the clock has stopped at 4:26. We've got trips left, and looks like they're going to hand it off up the middle. Nothing doing there as Mulholland was there.
Brandon Dutcher also on the tackle.
Mitchell picking that up for the 3rd down.
And Haslett's defense has put Perry in a long 3rd and 8 situation here, 3rd and 9, and see if Perry's going to go to the air or if they'll stick to the ground.
I would have to say that the Ramblers are going to probably have to go to the air here, Jeff, with 3rd down and 9. Their running game has only been good for about 4 or 5 yards a pop. And that's what they're going to do. Shansky, a straight drop. He's got a lot of pressure. It's a screen pass, and it nearly worked, but not when you got number 40, Ryan Walker, right there to make the stop for the Vikings.
Excellent play by Ryan there. There's a little bit of running room and possibility of a 1st down, but Ryan jumped on it and made the tackle.
Great play there by the Vikings, as Shansky had all kinds of pressure actually coming into his face, and he made a good play not to throw the ball away or get it intercepted. Perry's going to be forced to punt here as they're still in their own territory, but they're going to call timeout with 3:13 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Haslett still on top, 28-0. And it'll be interesting to see if Perry might be conversing a possible timeout situation here, as the Vikings are going to go over and converse with Coach Port. Port's been doing an excellent job as defensive coordinator. This defense has posted 3 shutouts already on the year and has just been playing excellent football.
I believe the defense has allowed 1 touchdown in the last 14 quarters of play so far.
Been doing very well. They haven't allowed a score, I know, in at least 10 quarters now, Jeff.
I think it's been 10 shutout quarters in a row for the Vikings.
That in and of itself is a great stat for this Viking defense, which was known as the suspect last year, and the years before that. The offense was able to move the ball sometimes, but the defense was always what was remarked on the Achilles heel of the Vikings, and regardless of whether it was or not, it definitely has picked up this year, and the defense for the Vikings has been a wonderful asset and has allowed the offense to have a little bit of leeway and maybe not have to score that many points every game. Here's the punt. Gets it off without any pressure. It's a good kick. Williams is going to take it. At the 25, he touches it, but then he gets a hold of it. Trying to cut it back. Shakes one man, not going to be able to shake the rest. And we've got a flag down as Williams made it up to about the 23-yard line.
See what the penalty is here. And late flag coming at the end of the run.
Williams looks like he was shaken up on the play. He appears to be holding his mouth.
His helmet off there, maybe a face mask or something.
It'll be interesting to see. We've got the official right here. We've got a clip, but it's against the Vikings. So that's going to bring Haslett back a good 15 yards to start off this possession, Jeff.
Yeah, that could possibly hurt Haslett, but the offense has been moving the ball very, very well this 2nd half with their 1 possession on their touchdown. And
Haslett's been playing good football here in the 2nd half. They've stopped Perry twice and scored that touchdown, as Jeff mentioned. And they've been very, very consistent and being able to move the ball both on the air and on the ground. And that's probably the most surprising thing tonight, Jeff, is the fact that the Vikings have been going to the air as much as they have been.
Yeah, maybe they feel that Perry being a little bit weaker of a team, they can practice more of that passing game for later in the year.
Definitely going to need it when it comes to be playoff time. And actually, it looks like we've had a replacement at quarterback. It looks like Pat Saltzgaber, number 83, has stepped in. And he handed it to Eric, but he did not have much room off the right-hand side.
Pat changed his number back to 83 after being 26 for the last couple weeks playing quarterback. And
yeah, when Saltzgaber's not spending time at starting quarterback, he's starting at tight end, a very versatile player, and that's something that you need in high school. You need a player that can play a lot of different aspects of the game. And Saltzgaber also holds on those extra points, and he has really come into his own this year and been playing very good football for the Vikings.
Very solid contributor to this team.
Saltzgaber. Looks like he handed it to Logan, and he is going to be plowed down after maybe not even any gain at all. It looked like he may have moved backwards some, and that's actually going to bring up a third down and about maybe 12, 13 yards for the Vikings.
So the Haslett offense sputtering a little bit with the quarterback change, and we'll have to see if they stick to the ground here, if they go to the air. The Saltzgaber does have a very, very good arm. She showed last week against Stockbridge.
So the Vikings now getting set for their third down. And it looks like they're going to throw. Saltzgaber, he's got a man deep. It's number 22, Peter Ehrig, and he was hit. No interference call, as number 6, Mike Van Atta, was there on the coverage, and it appeared like he was going for the ball. And I thought that maybe it could have been an interference call there, but the official did not think so.
Looked like very good defense there. It just went for the ball. Maybe a little bumping going on, but that's going to happen. And a good no call by the ref, I thought. Saltzgaber looked like he had his man in the flats wide open, and he chose to go a little bit deep, and Haslett didn't pick up the first down.
This is the first punt of the night for the Vikings, as Stocker is going to kick it out of his own end zone, and it's going to take a Perry bounce, and the Vikings are going to down it, and the Perry's going to have great field position, taking over at about the 31-yard line. We'd like to take this time to thank everyone who's helped us make this production tonight. Brian Town, the director, and Kelsey Barnes also helping out there with the director. On the replay has been Jessica Slider. Cameras, Greg Babcock, Ashley Babcock, Lainey Lauerman, Derek Spangler, and engineering, Ben Hancock. We'd like to thank all those people, for without them, this broadcast would not be possible.
Do an excellent job, excellent job.
Excellent job providing us with great shots all night. So Shansky with great field position for his offense here. I formation wing right. And he's going to hand it up the middle. Not much room there, maybe 2-3 yards on the carry.
Looks like Shansky actually moved back to running back in number 32. Who we're sorry to say that we don't have a name for on our roster here. We've got no name, and
yes, it's unfortunate the rosters that we're giving at the front of the game does not list on number 32 for Perry. And Jeff is right, he is playing quarterback now. Second down, about 8 yards to go. And he's going to hand it up the middle for 2 or 3 yards. Looked like that was number 40, Isaac Mitchell, on the play. Mulholland was the man to make the stop. What do you think the quarterback change for Perry is, Jeff?
I don't know, maybe he thought that the offense wasn't moving good enough with Shansky, or maybe he just wants to get number 32 some reps in the quarterback. Obviously, he's the backup. Just a little change, I guess, Coach Shansky wanted.
Third down, and he's going to hand it up the middle. No room there for Mitchell, as he's going to be brought down by a host of Vikings. Brandon Harden leading him there. Wayne Butler was in amongst them. In case you're wondering, on TV 25, there is a lot of programming to choose from, not just the Viking football. We also will be showing a middle school choir concert through the 28th of October. It starts on the 26th. We will be showing some news soon, as well as Board of Education meetings. And there's a lot of things to choose from here on TV 25. We'll also be showing you the Festival of Bands and another special on HMS. We Like It, the Haslett Middle School, coming into its own here. And that will be the week of, that'll be the 26th, 27th, and 28th coming up here. So a lot of things to watch and learn from here on TV 25, and the channel has really taken off due to 3 classes being held at the school. 4th and 6th hour have been introductions to media, as the students have taken an in-depth look at how to not only use the camera and TV equipment, but to look into the media and see how it affects them in their lives. And the 5th hour class is the production class, and they're responsible for taking care of the equipment, repairing it, and putting together things like the news and other shows shown here on TV 25. In case you're just joining us, start of the 4th quarter here Vikings Stadium. Haslett up 28-0. 4th down and a long 5 for the Perry Ramblers. At quarterback, number 32. We don't know what his name is due to our roster. But he's going to fake the handoff, and it's going to be a reverse, and they did not fool Wayne Butler. He is all over that. And Butler is known for that, Mulder. He has been great all year about staying at home, watching where the play is going, and he did a nice job there.
Very disciplined defensive end is Wayne Butler, as he showed right there, stayed home. A huge loss on a 4th down play that Perry really needed to just have even a little bit of a chance to stay in this game.
Yes, well, the Vikings now are going to take over on offense to start off this 4th quarter. 1st down and 10 from their own 39-yard line. And Pat Saltzgaber at the helm. Wing right is Shepard. Barnhart, Eric in the backfield. And he's going to fake it to Eric and roll to his left to throw it. He's got all kinds of pressure, and he had to tuck the ball in to make sure it didn't get knocked loose there, as number 83, Steve Hill, was there to make a big sack, and that's going to set the Vikings back a good 15 yards.
Huge loss on that play. Saltzgaber took a sack.
Saltzgaber may have wanted to roll the other way there, actually, Jeff, as he rolled first to his left and saw the pressure, tried to roll back to his right, wasn't able to do so. It's kind of hard when you've got number 83, Steve Hill, right in your face.
On a 2nd, 25, 26 yards. That's a long ways.
Saltzgaber. Looks like he's trying to go to Barnhart, and that's not going to be good for anything either, as the Viking offense is starting to stall out here, Jeff.
Yeah, Logan loses a few yards there. Saltzgaber loses 15 yards in the first play, and then Logan loses a yard or 2 on the second play. The offense is not looking good after that first possession where they drove it down the field and scored a touchdown.
Yes, definitely totally different situation here for the Vikings. They've got a 3rd down and 26 yards to go. It's a very tall order. It'll be interesting to see. We've got a split left is Logan Barnhart. We've got a pro backfield. And Saltzgaber drops back to throw. He's got pressure, and he's not going to go down. He gets the ball off and nearly caught by Barnhart. Number 42 was there. That's Shansky, and I thought that was possibly an interference call, as it looked like he had his right hand wrapped around. But we're going to go down to another correspondent in the stands, Amanda Pullen.
Hi, we're down here with Sherry. Sherry, what grade are you in?
I'm a senior this year.
And what are you doing down here on the field?
I'm a student athletic trainer.
So what exactly do you do out here? Like, how have the injuries been tonight?
We haven't had too many injuries tonight. Shively had his back hurt, and Saltzgaber got clipped in the calf, but so far it's been pretty quiet. It's been a good game.
And how about Shively's knee? How's it going?
He's doing fine right now. I think he's out for the rest of the game, and Saltzgaber's in, but...
Okay, thanks. Back to you, Evan.
All right, back up here in the booth. Haslett elected to punt on that 4th down. And Perry took over, is going to take over at their own 40-yard line here. We've got 10 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the game.
Very good punt there by Stocker, and didn't get a chance to see that.
Great kick for the Vikings, took a great roll as well. And the Vikings now getting set defensively.
So the defense is asked to answer the call once again as the offense comes up with nothing on that last possession.
The Vikings now getting set. We've got trips right for the Ramblers. Still at quarterback, number 32, with a single back in the backfield. And that's who he's going to give it to, but there is no room there. The Vikings are all over that one. And the Ramblers lucky if they move the ball a yard. Jeff, if you're Perry here, what do you want to work on? Do you want to work on stuff for your upcoming game, try to get the depth moving, or do you want to just maybe do whatever you can to try to get back into this one? You're down 28-0 with less than 10 minutes to go.
I think if I'm Perry right now, I just would like to move the ball solidly and maybe put some points up on the board on this tough Haslett defense. Maybe go away with a little bit of a moral victory.
Well, they've got 3 wide receivers. They're going to throw a screen, and there is nowhere to go. Cahill's going to cut him down, number 83. Steve Hill was the man to catch the ball, and the Vikings were right there to stop him.
Steve Hill's a big guy, and Nathan makes a really, really nice tackle there.
It was a smart play by Cahill to hit him low instead of trying to tackle the big guy up top. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and long, about 15 yards for the Ramblers to make. 9 minutes remaining, 4th quarter.
Perry taking their time coming out of the huddle. 3rd and about 15 here, Evan.
Trips to the left, single back for number 32. Dropping back to throw. He's got pressure coming from Babcock, and he's going to run away and throw it short. And it looked like the pass was intended to number 34, Mark Hammond.
Looked like maybe Ben Murray got a hand on that one.
It's going to fall incomplete and out of bounds. And we're going to go back down to our field correspondent, Amanda Pullen. Amanda?
Hi, we're down on the field here with Officer Smith. So, Officer Smith, how's the security of the game looking tonight?
It's been pretty good. Things have been going pretty smooth, pretty quiet. Everyone's been pretty well behaved so far, so it's been good.
That's good. That's good to hear.
All right, back up here in the booth, Perry punted, and Williams took the ball out across midfield to about the 45-yard line.
Good run back by Alex there. He's making the most of an opportunity.
Alex has been doing very, very well running back these punts all night, Jeff. And he returns another good one there. Haslett will have the ball with 8:23 left, but since Saltzgaber's taken over, the offense has not been moving very well. I'm not saying that's his fault. I'm just saying ever since that first possession in the second half, Haslett's not been able to move the ball at all. They actually went backwards about 15 yards in their last possession. Saltzgaber's going to hand it to Walker. Walker off the left side, picks up a couple before he's brought down by 2 or 3 Ramblers.
Ryan Walker comes in and gets a little offensive time this game. He's already got a catch in this game for about 15 yards, and now he picks up a little 2-yard run there.
Speaking of utility and versatile players, Ryan Walker is definitely in that category, being able to play wonderfully on the defense and then also being able to come in on the offense and back. He's been a great player for the Vikings this year. Saltzgaber, and he's going to hand it off the left side. Looks like Ehrig, and he's tripped up there by...
Looks like Brad Hildenbrand. Number 27.
Hildebrand on the carry. Number 74, Andy Andrews, was there on the stop.
And back to Ryan Walker. I believe that Ryan is also the emergency quarterback or 3rd-string quarterback. Should Pat and Nick both get hurt. I think I've seen him take a few snaps in warm-ups before.
3rd down, 5 yards to go for the Vikings. Saltzgaber hands it up the middle. And Ben Murray is going to run forward for the 1st down.
So Haslett's offense coming back to life here in this 4th quarter.
Yes, the second offense known to the team as the pile offense.
Game well in hand here, 28-0 lead for the Vikings with just under 7 minutes left in the game. And
this offense, as far as 2nd-string offenses go, Jeff, this is not a bad one.
Very athletic 2nd-string offense.
Extremely. Saltzgaber with a backfield of Hildebrand, Murray, and Williams. He's going to fake the handoff, and he's going to run outside, cuts it back up, and Saltzgaber is going to move the ball well there.
And if you look on this 2nd-string offense, you see a lot of players that you would normally see on defense, like Stu Gliwa coming out right now, and Jeremy Telfor.
Alex Williams. We've also seen Lucas Caldwell-McMillan into the game now.
Brian Dutcher and Ben Brook both play defense most of the time for the Vikings, and they're out there now. Ben Murray, Ryan Walker, both big defensive contributors this year, but now get their offensive reps in.
About 6 minutes remaining here in the game, and he hands it to Williams. Williams looking for room outside, and he's not going to find it. And he's put down hard on the far sideline. This is going to bring up a 3rd and short for the Vikings.
Very solid hit there. Williams turned his back to the defense. So we got about 3rd and 2 here. A 3rd and long, 1 short 2.
Just to remind viewers, at stake tonight, the ICL Championship Trophy. It has not been held by the Haslett Vikings since 1986.
Looks like well in hand right now.
They're going to hand it up the middle, and Forward Progress may have gotten it.
It's going to be very, very close. Probably going to need an official timeout for measurement here unless they give him a good spot because he looks extremely close.
Well, the officials are signaling 4th down, so they're not even going to give it a measure. Apparently well short. That's another instance where that pile moves. If it moves forward, he's got the 1st down. So 4th and short, under 5 minutes to go.
Looks like he didn't even pick up any yards at all on that one, my mistake.
Saltzgaber. He's going to hand it to Walker. There is nowhere to go as he was hit and met in the backfield by big number 74. Andy Andrews has been playing pretty well tonight for the Ramblers.
So no 1st down on that carry, and Perry's going to take over on downs and see if they can maybe do something with the ball in this last 4 minutes and 38 seconds of the game.
Viking defense stepping out on the field. They've been playing very well tonight. The Ramblers, after replacing Shansky at quarterback, now got a new man, number 32, in there. Not sure what his name is because the roster we have does not list him. We'll just call him John Elway, and he pitches out to the left-hand side. He'll pick up about 5 yards on the play.
Looks like Shansky, the number 1 quarterback, getting some time in at tailback and picking up a few yards there to the outside.
Yeah, we were talking about versatility earlier in the game, and if you're Perry, you've got to have it. You've got so few players to choose from. Everyone pretty much is going to need to know just about every position. He picked up about 5-6 yards on the play there.
Good run there by Shansky.
Made it out of bounds as well to stop the clock. 2nd down for the Ramblers. He's going to drop back to throw. Looks short, completed to number 83, Steve Hill. He'll be dragged down. Clock will continue to roll here after he picks up the 1st down. Actually, they're going to stop it now.
Looks like Peter Eric on the tackle there, getting a little defensive time, so a little bit of switch. The offensive players get some defensive time, and the defensive players get some offensive time. And it looks like we got J.J. Danhoff just running on the field for the Vikings, getting a little defensive time.
Danhoff probably be seeing some time in the secondary.
Showing that he can not only just kick the ball, but he can play. He can play in the defensive side, too.
About 4 minutes remaining here in the game. It's a pitch outside to Shansky. He's got room, cuts it back. He could be gone. Shansky up the left sideline, and he's going to score. Oh, touchdown. They're going to give it to him, and the what Perry crowd there is erupts there on the far sideline, and so Shansky gets on the board with 3:50 remaining. In case you're not familiar, go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry about that, Evan. Shansky shows his speed on that one, as we mentioned earlier. We got a replay here after the kick or before. Not really. Here it is. Shansky bounces it outside, gets a hole. Once he gets a little running room, he's pretty quick and
had too many players falling down there for the Vikings, and the kick is going to be up and good. And the Ramblers cut the lead to 21. 3:50 remaining. In case the viewers here are not familiar with the way the playoff system works, there are different regions for the different classes. And in each region, 4 teams are able to move out. The Vikings stand tied for first in their region right now with Romulus. It doesn't matter how pretty the Vikings' wins are, it just matters who they play and if they win.
And the Vikings have had a little bit of bad luck because points are also based on the team that you play record, who you beat. And the Vikings have, they've played very well and they're a very, very good team, but they don't score as many points as most teams in other regions do because teams that they play records aren't as strong.
They were hoping to pick up some points for playing Adrian and Gaylord, but both teams have been disappointing this year, and so points not worth quite as much. Back deep to receive for the Vikings are Barnhart and Eric, and they've actually moved up to the 25-yard line, not expecting a deep kick at all.
expecting that onside here to come from the Ramblers.
Looks like the hands team is out on the field for the Vikings
Number
right now.
88, Mike Gamble is going to kick this one. And it is going to be an onside to the left-hand side. The Vikings going to shift. And here they go. And it's caught by number 95, Jeremy Telfor. Great play there by Telfor, showing great hands as it just went right to him. And Jeremy Bubba Telfor picking that one up.
Looks like Telfor was thinking touchdown on that one as he thought he may be able to get outside and maybe go. And
yes, he lost his balance over there. And Telfor, well known amongst his teammates. Great defensive player. He's known by the team and his coaches as Krang, but his family calls him Bubba. Look at the replay on this. Watch as the kick's just going to come right to him, and he catches it, tries to run. Taking a look, Saltzgaber here. He's going to hand it up the middle, and number 30, Ben Murray, with all kinds of room there. He's going to drive forward for a first down.
Looks like a pick of about 12 or 13 yards on the carry there for Murray.
First down for the Haslett Vikings.
Clock's under 4 minutes now and just ticking down on the Ramblers here. Ticking down towards the Haslett Viking ICL Championship.
And what a night it would be if the Vikings should hold on tonight and finally get their hands on that elusive ICL Championship trophy. And they handed it to Harden and he fumbled. It's gonna go to the Ramblers. And perhaps the Vikings getting a little too celebrative before this game is over, handing the ball off to your middle linebacker there, and he lost it.
So Brandon doesn't really make good on his chance to carry the ball there, but.
And his running debut. The Vikings now, 3:15 remaining in the game. They lead 28-7.
Here's a replay.
Take another look at that. Harden just never really got a firm foundation on the ball and had it knocked loose. And then Perry's going to run it again off the left side. This time it will be tripped up by Ryan Walker and others.
Back on the play, Ryan Walker, handing the ball forward. Second down.
Second down for the Ramblers.
38-yard line, second down.
Ball at about the 38 for Perry.
So it looks like the second team defense is in right now for the Vikings. And
you got
guys
21
time. Got number 12 Ryan Pavick there on the left defensive end.
You've got a 21-point lead. You can afford to do a little substituting here at this amount of time left. Run off the left side. It's not going to be any good for more than maybe a yard, if that.
Good solid hit by Peter Eric there.
It's going to bring up a third down for the Ramblers.
Approaching 2 minutes left in the game here, and doesn't look like Perry's going to make any kind of comeback in this one, as Haslett's going to.
So there will be no miracle on Haslett tonight for the Ramblers. They'd hoped to knock down these undefeated Vikings, but it's not going to happen. But number 32 erupts off that left sideline, cuts it back up, and he gets the first down and is finally taken down by the Vikings.
Number 32 looking like Cordell Stewart there, taking the ball on the outside. And
Jeff, I'm going to leave Jeff in the booth now. I'm going to go down and see if I can get myself an interview with one of the coaches, possibly look at the trophy.
Coach Otluski just got the water dumped on him on an ICL championship season. Clock running down, 1:30 left, and number 32 is under center. Shancy's got the ball, and Eric and many others on the tackle there. We got clock approaching a minute here left in the game. Perry taking his time in the huddle, and we're under a minute now left in this one. .32 comes up to the line, and Pitches it out, and Chansey's going to throw. He's got Steve Hill out there. J.J. Danhoff's there, and Danhoff with good coverage for... Danhoff also is the kicker, very fine kicker, and got Coach Ford there on the sidelines, and makes a very good defensive play in breaking that one up. They got Coach Port down there, and they're going to dump the water on him. And they got him, and he put up a good fight, but just couldn't out. Here comes Perry, 32, he drops back, he's gonna throw, and he's got 83 still, Steve Hill. Fourth down for the Ramblers now. And Coach Port put up a good fight there, trying not to get doused with the water, but just couldn't get away from his players. See there, he's soaking wet now and probably pretty cold. But still coaching. .35 seconds left in this game, and Haslett's going to move to 8-0 and take the ICL title outright, and Perry will drop to 1-7. Quick pass out to the look like number 84. Sorry, but we do not have a name on the roster for him either, and we got a flag. It's like a personal foul penalty. Something that's just going to delay the end of the game just a little bit longer. Move Perry down into a little bit better field position. Maybe they're trying to get another score in before the end of the game here. 31 seconds left. Moves it down to the Haslett 25-yard line. Perry comes up. .32 drops back, another quick pass, and number 20, Justin Morse, doesn't come up with the ball, and 22.8 seconds left in this one, and it's going to be second down and 10 for the Ramblers. Nothing real flashy about tonight's game, but Haslett got the job done, and they're going to come home with a victory in the ICL title. Looks like we got a timeout on the field. Coach Port comes out, talk to his team. Once again, I'll take this time to remind you that next week the Vikings will host Gaylord, and that game will start at 7 o'clock, not 7:30 as the usual time, but 7 o'clock, as Gaylord's going to have a long drive after the game. So next week at home, Haslett's going to host Gaylord at 7 o'clock, and next Saturday, the cross-country team will be hosting the regional, which includes 18 teams, and the girls will run at 11 o'clock and start things off. And the guys will follow at 11:30. Right here on the Haslett football field. It'd be nice if you guys could come out to that and come out to the football game next week. 32 drops back. He's looking deep. Oh, it was right there, and number 88, Mike Gamble, went right through his hands. Good coverage, but also a very nice throw, and we got 17.5 seconds left, and Perry's got a 3rd and 10 here. .32 comes up under center here. Drops back again. He's going to pass. He's under a heavy rush. Just throws it up there, and Ryan Walker's going to get another interception here. He's got a lot of running room, but Number 27's coming under him. And he's going to run out the clock on an interception and a huge return, and the Vikings are going to be the ICL champs this year. Haslett moves to 8-0, but big story in this game is Haslett is undefeated in the league this year. 6-0 in the league this year, and they're going to be the ICL champs. Once again, the final score is Haslett 28, Perry 7. Perry's going to drop to 1-7, and Haslett's going to go to 8-0, 6-0 in the league. Got the team shaking hands here. We got a replay on this interception and return. 32 drops back and just kind of lashing up there. He's under pressure. And Walker's just kind of there. Ryan's a very good defensive back, and he's not the quickest player on the team, but he's just got a nose for the football. Just knows where to go, and he shows it there. And we got the Haslett team coming over to sing the fight song here. We'll just let you listen in on that. And as you know, the Vikings won the ICL title outright here tonight. 6-0 this year in the league.
Smash right through that line of blue. Watch boys keep going. As teams are about to win, they're fighting with the fifth. Rah, rah, rah. See that line is weakening. We're gonna win this game. Fight, 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 we fight. Victory rounds high.
We got Coach O getting the league championship trophy down there with Mr. Johnson. Calling the team over to get the team around there to get the trophy. They sure have earned it this year. Coach O in the middle of the team.
Yeah.
Title for the first time since 1986.
We couldn't have done it without Wayne. Wayne Butler, MVP.
Got the trophy there. And Derek Johnson running with it right now, and they're going to take it out to the 50-yard line here. Great game here tonight for the Vikings, and also Perry. Perry played very, very hard, just didn't have as much talent tonight. Team poses for pictures there. Parents come out to the field. It's been a great year for these guys this year. Great to see them do so well. Evans down on the field right now. He's going to try to get a word with one of the coaches here after the celebration ends. And people filing out here. Looks like Derek Johnson's holding the trophy up there, and there's a good look at the ICL championship trophy. Good shot of the team here. Looks like Coach O's in the middle of the team there. So for one last time here, Haslett comes away with a victory and an outright ICL title. Haslett, the score of the game was Haslett 28, Perry 7. Perry got a late touchdown in the fourth quarter there. Very well played game tonight by both teams. Looks like the team's breaking up now just a little bit, or Evan might be able to get a word with one of the coaches there. Great night to be a Haslett Viking. The team heads back to the locker room here. Evan is trying to get a word with one of the coaches. Very exciting night here for the Haslett Viking football team. First ICL title since 1986. Now it looks like Coach Port's making his way towards Evan, and Evan's going to get a word with Coach Port there. And Evan's got Coach Port now. We're going to send it down to Evan now with a word with Coach Port.
All right, I'm down on the field here with a very emotional man, the defensive coordinator for the Haslett Vikings, Coach Rob Port. First of all, Coach, congratulations on the first ICL championship since 1986. They've been few and far between and hard to come by. What does this mean to you guys?
Well, I just feel so much for the seniors who have weathered a lot of storms, and they were 1-8 as freshmen, and well, you were there, and we've been through some tough times, and we said back then that if we stayed with it, we'd be champions someday, and that's exactly what we did. We climbed and got to the top of the mountain tonight, and it's a pretty good feeling.
It's a big, big win for you guys, and the defense played tremendously tonight. Did you do anything to change the schemes, or was it just kind of went with the flow and did your normal thing?
Well, they do some things that Fowlerville did, and that's kind of what we did. We did some things with our scheme that's similar to what we did with Fowlerville. We angled to some of their strength things, and they have a nice running back that surprised us. He ran the ball hard, and credit to our kids and credit to Perry. They came out and played well tonight. I was impressed with them.
Yes, Perry didn't have that many players, but the ones that they did had very big hearts, and they played very well. Now, as far as looking ahead to Gaylord, what's on the docket? How have they been doing this year?
Well, they're Class A school playing in a real tough conference up north with the Traverse City schools and Sheboygan and Sault Ste. Marie and Alpena, and they're going to probably come in here 4-4 next week out of that conference, which is a nice season for them. So they're going to be a good football team.
All right, congratulations, Coach Port. All right, we're here. We've also got the head coach, Coach Charlie Otluski. Coach Otluski, you've been here for a number of years. What's it mean to win your first ICL championship?
Sounds like that guy from TV 53. What's it mean? It means a lot. It's exciting with all the hard work that everybody's done, the coaches, the players, the administration, everybody that's worked real hard for this. This is not only our championship, but it's the schools and in the community.
Now, Coach, you always said, and I remember this speech from you, that each class that has come through since you've been coach has been part of breaking that rock, chipping away at that rock to get the ICL championship. You finally broke it tonight. And you guys have got a lot of things ahead of you, but that's got to feel great.
It does. In fact, I saw Andy Miller at the marathon station, and I said, hey, remember what I said? Remember what we've been talking about? Chipping away at the rock. I said, remember, you guys played as big a part, and they did. From the 94 team up through the 97 team, played as equal a part as anything. These guys just happened to be the 100th person to break the rock, but it's exciting.
So congratulations, Coach, and I'd like to say thank you for coming out and giving us this interview tonight. Is there anyone you'd like to make a shout-out to, say hello?
No, let's go play Gaylord.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. What a classic night here. TV 25 Sports has its first ICL championship title since 1986. And for Jeff Boulder up in the booth, for Director Brian Town and TV 25 Sports, I'm Evan Woodward. Good night.